Hey, what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about manual focus. So have you ever been in the moment just taking a bunch of pictures, getting what you think are some of the coolest pictures you've ever taken, and then you get back home, you get on your computer, and you go to edit those photos, and it turns out they are all out of focus. You did not get one single good picture in that entire span of taking all of these photos, and there's nothing you can do about it because the moment's passed. You're already back home, and it just sucks. It's one of the worst feelings as a photographer, and there's really only a couple ways to avoid this. The first is just being super diligent while taking photos in autofocus, or the second, which is just always shooting in manual focus. So most lenses and cameras have built-in autofocus. There are some that don't, but most of them do. And autofocus is basically something inside the camera that allows you to get sharp pictures, and it allows your camera to focus on the subject in your frame. So for example, this camera is using autofocus right now to keep me in focus while I'm talking to the camera. And so manual focus is just the opposite of that. Instead of the camera doing the focusing, it's the person, it's the user. So you do it by hand. And something like this is especially important for something like a long exposure. Shooting in manual focus for nighttime photography or long exposure photos allows you to lock onto something. For example, it might be the headlight of a car, or it could be the moon if that's what you're shooting. And all this does is it just makes it a lot easier for you, the photographer, to get your photos in focus. Now, during daytime, if you have too much going on in the frame, the camera's not gonna know what to pick up. And in autofocus mode, it's just gonna keep searching and searching and searching until it finds a subject. And that might not be the subject that you actually want in focus. So manual focus just makes it a lot easier. You know exactly which subject you want to focus on, and you can just do it right there. So for an example, in a scenario like this, I would manually focus on the rock before shooting the image because that's the subject that I want to be in focus. And especially when you're doing stuff like portrait or macro photography, this can help a ton. And just a quick little tip for when you are doing portrait photography and using manual focus, try and focus on the eyes of the person or subject. It really results in a much better image. The eyes of the subject are really what draws people into the photo. So when those are the things that are sharpest, the photo turns out a lot better. For landscape photography, if you're using manual focus, it can help get the entire image in focus and perfectly sharp instead of having to focus stack, which can be a really long and tedious process. So honestly, whether you want to use manual focus or autofocus is really up to you. When I'm in a hurry or if I'm just kind of feeling lazy, I'll use autofocus, and I've still been able to get some great photos with it. But in the end, I've just always felt the manual focus is better and more reliable for me as a photographer. Mostly, I think it's important just to understand what both of them do and which different scenarios you should use them for. Alright, that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, lets me know to keep making videos like this. For the month of December, I'm planning on posting a lot more videos, so just be on the lookout for those. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Later.